As soon as Dave gets ready.
Where's Jim? He had to stop for a minute. Jim in here.
All right, is,
He had to take off.
mhm.
Okay.
Ready? And I'll call the regularly scheduled meeting for the Natrona County Board of County Commissioners for Tuesday, May 18th, 2021 to order. Madam Clerk, we have roll call.
Chairman Hendry,
Here.
Chairman Kaufman, or Commissioner Hendry will start over.
Here.
How about Commissioner Kaufman?
Chairman Kaufman does have a ring to it, but I am here.
My apologies. Commissioner
It'll
Mill,
be okay.
Commissioner Keating.
Commissioner Mill, Commissioner North,
Here.
Chairman Bertolio.
Here, would you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The chair would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Mr. Chairman, I would so move.
I will second that motion.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Hendry, seconded by Commissioner North. Is there any items on the agenda anyone would like to have any further discussion on? There being none, all those in favor of the approval of the consent agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. We have no public hearings and anything else, so at this point, we would open the floor to the public. Anyone in the public wishing to address the commission tonight? Come on up, sir. And if you would if you would give us your name and address for the record?
Who am I? John Bentley. You know who I am. John Bentley?
Yes, sir.
Here it goes.
There you go.
Address too, please.
951 South 8 Mile. Was any of you guys out there and looked at that problem there on Horse Creek or whatever the hell the name is? On that fire hydrant? Have any of you been out there?
Yes.
When?
Been about 6 months ago.
Well, you ought to go out there now. And my understanding is that that fire hydrant is going to go on the property line. Is that your understanding?
We had a map of it somewhere.
Well, I don't need a map. You guys might, but I don't. Anyway, the fire hydrant is going on the property line. Okay. What Brian told you about turning the truck in, backing up to get to the plug, that's fine. But if it goes on the property line, there's going to have to be an offset on Dave's property to take care of the truck backing in there. And you know how long them fire trucks are. As far as turning in, backing up, not a problem. They don't have to go on his property. But there's got to be enough room for them trucks to back in there. And Rob, you know as well as I do, when there's a damn house fire, every second counts. And that, you need to go out and look at what he's got done there
Okay.
before you actually make the decision.
It's done.
Well, I know it's done, but that don't mean you can't change it. My big concern is the fire at the end of it. As far as what's east of that, I could care less. You know, as far as abandoning that easement or whatever, I don't care. My main concern is the fire. So, Now you know who I are. Same here. I guess everybody else does know.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you.
Yeah. Please go out and look at it.
Okay.
Because the way it is right now, he drove posts in there. I took Brian out there today. Brian said, this ain't gonna work. And like I say, as you know, when you got a house fire, every second counts as far as getting that truck to them. You know, grass fire, hell, I can do that all day long. That don't bother me. So, anyway, thank you for your time.
Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to address?
Paula Thurlman, 9009 Horse Ranch Road. And I have two comments, one actually a question. I know at the last meeting, it was decided to vacate the cul-de-sac contingent on Commissioner Kaufman pointed out, and Attorney Eric Nelson agreed, that you were going to check out that power box as far as if that was going to work, as far as the turnaround, and I wondered, I hadn't heard anything. Is that still going to work?
County Attorney Nelson.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman. So, Ms. Thurman, I apologize. I did just receive a message that you had called me. So we're still in the process of writing the order on that hearing. Our planner was gone all of last week, so we're a little bit behind. So I don't have a hard and fast answer for you, but I think everything we said at the time still holds true. And so I'm happy to reach back out to you once I get some feedback from her on what that will look like and what the status of that box. I certainly would commit to do.
We were all up aboard. But I know, and I don't have the recording with me of the last meeting, we did have a conversation about that. And I know as far as David's concerned, he's already staked out his property, which is fine. He's worried about the teenagers coming out there, which I don't think they do that. But my other question is, as a concerned citizen, a taxpayer, plus an owner of irrigated land, you probably all know how expensive it is, and you are giving him public land. I just talked to CEPI, and the cul-de-sac is public. It's great land. David has irrigated and used it, but that's kind of off the record, but you have given him that land. Plus, you've given him about 1,050 feet. That's going from the west side to the east side, 60 foot, and I don't know what that comes out to, an acre and a half. And I'm just curious, as a taxpayer and a landowner, and we buy property, if you're going to sell him that property, or is that something that will just be given? Because I know when I started this process and talked to the Natrona County Planning Department, Jason, who's not there now, but Trish is, and this has never been done in Natrona County before, and they really didn't think this would even come about, vacating a public cul-de-sac and an easement. So I'm just curious if that's going to be any part of your final judgment. As a concerned citizen, of course.
Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, so by operation of law, when a public roadway is vacated, or any roadway that's dedicated to the public, then that property then does become the property of the adjacent landowner. And so the ownership, I think, goes to the center line. I would have to circle back with Trish, because I don't think the comment that this has never been done in Natrona County
Well, it wasn't.
is technically correct,
Okay.
But by operation of law, I mean, it's vacated, it's no longer public, it inures to the benefit of the adjacent landowner, becomes part of their property.
Correct.
Typically, I mean, there's not consideration or money exchanged, because the county doesn't own it, it's dedicated to the public. So, but again, I would certainly circle back with our planner to get some more information from her, and I'm happy to call you back on that as well.
That would be great. And then if you could let me know, and then if you could actually let us know if it's a final decision or not, because I understood at our last meeting, it was contingent on the power box. And the power box is actually on our property, and it was meant to be on David's, but David just wants to have his land, so they did put it on our property. We already have, ours. Each property has their own. I don't know if you're familiar with how Rocky Mountain Power does that. So I'm just concerned about that. I do know, just for your peace of mind, he does have a stake that's 24 foot, and checking with the fire station down the street from where I work on David Street, a fire truck can actually fit through that, but at this point, the fire hydrant is still on his property. He has killed all the grass to let everyone know where our cul-de-sac is. Thank you, David. And also the fire hydrant. But I just wonder, too, when is the date that this is going to be done? Because, we're going into fire season right now. And we don't want a conflict of interest.
No, I understand, Mr. Chairman. I don't know, that is not something that I'm, directly involved in. That's a matter between Pioneer and Mr. North, and I don't know if that's a conversation that you can have with him or with Pioneer. They would be the ones best situated to answer that.
Well, so far, they have not been willing to talk to me. I tried to talk to them, and they said, you better remember the law of unintended consequences. And I think that was after I talked to DEQ, because DEQ did have a say-so on that fire hydrant, but they do waiver it over to the water department.
Yeah, so Mr. Chairman, again, I can add that to the list of things. It's probably best a conversation, that we can have once I contact them. They can give me some more information, so.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else wishing to address the commission tonight? Okay, there being no others. Commissioners' comments. Commissioner North.
I don't have any comments tonight.
Okay. Commissioner Hendry.
Yeah, no, I really don't have anything except it's really dry. Casper's green and it looks good in here, but if you get to Waltman, it's from there west, it's really dry. And reservoirs, even around here, and I guess Bates Creek is really dry. So we're kind of in a drought period. Luckily, and some people unluckily, we got 30 inches of snow in Casper, and it really made things green, and it got some moisture, but boy, it's short-lived. So that was all I had.
All right. Vice Chairman.
I'm going to get used to this. So I have something delightful to share. So I had the opportunity last night to go to Kelly Walsh High School and give out the award on one of the students that we chose through the commissioner process, and it's money that's allocated by the governor, and then it's administered by the University of Wyoming. And it was delightful to sit in the auditorium and see kids who are getting ready to graduate, and they're just rocking it on every level. But it was really neat just to see all the kids get awarded and to celebrate their intelligence and their next steps and their future. And obviously, I awarded it to Mark Annis last night, and he was obviously very grateful and thankful for the process. So it was the second time I've ever been in Kelly Walsh, but it was a really neat experience, and there's really neat young kids coming up, and they're going to do great things. So it was really neat. Thank you.
And I have nothing. Wait. I guess I have
I got
one more
one
thing.
I'm going to send you guys an article. You probably haven't seen it, but Jason Gutierrez, one of his sons, won the national hay competition. And there's an article in a farm magazine about him. And good young kid, going to graduate here in a week or so. But I'll try to get that and get it to you. It's really good.
Okay. And I have nothing. So we are adjourned.